Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Thursday. We're on the downhill slide of this week. It's December the 1st, the first day of December, and it's hard to believe that we're beginning the beginning of the 12th month of this year, and 2022 it will be history in a month. But anyway, it seems like this year has flown by, and just as these days do anymore. But anyway, this morning, I pray that you had a good Wednesday. Hope that now you're ready to, slide down toward the weekend. And anyway, hope that you're ready for what God has planned for us today. This morning, I want to share with you about trusting God's plan. Malchus, the soldier that was one of the soldiers that was there in the Garden of Gethsemane, he should have been thankful that, that Peter, was a fisherman and not a swordsman, an expert at being a swordsman. As the disciples, they spent time with Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, they saw this crowd coming. And Peter, he drew his sword without hesitation, and he took a swing. And Malchus, the high priest's servant, he lost his ear. Now, Peter, and part of the problem, Peter, he was trying to fight a spiritual battle with physical means. And Jesus said to him, this is in Matthew chapter 26, verses 52 through 54 in the New Living Translation. It says, "Put away your sword. Those who use the sword will die by the sword. Don't you realize that I could ask my Father for 1,000 angels to protect us, and he would send them instantly? But if I did, how would the scriptures be fulfilled that describe what must happen now?" In other words, Peter, hey, that's not the way to fight this battle. This isn't the time for that. The Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4, it says, "We use God's mighty weapons, not worldly weapons, to knock down the strongholds of human reasoning and to destroy false arguments." It's also, I think, worth noting that Jesus, he healed the high priest's servant. Malchus didn't deserve it. Yet Jesus, he reached down and he healed his ear. You see, that was the last miracle that Jesus had ever performed here on this earth before, he went to the cross. And the rest of the story. Our Lord, he was crucified, he bore the sins of the world, and, he rose from the dead. For every Christian, there will come a Gethsemane, a place where, we realize that our obedience overrules our personal desires. The glory of God becomes more important than our glory and desires. And we say, not my will, but yours be done. Let me ask you a question. Are you at such a place right now in your life? I pray that you would just surrender to the will of God. Listen, you will be glad that you did that. Because here's the deal. His plan for you is better than your plan for yourself. I can speak from experience, not being in God's will is miserable. I remember a time in my life and I wasn't in God's will, for what he, really ultimately wanted me to do, to be in the ministry, and I was miserable. It's miserable when you're not in God's will. And so my prayer for you today, my prayer for myself, is that we would all, simply follow what God has for us, and we would follow the will he has for each one of us. We'd surrender to that and just be obedient to what God has called each one of us to do. But anyway, hope that you're encouraged this morning. Hope that you have a wonderful day. And remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.